So yeah, why should you use LinkedIn? What's so amazing about LinkedIn? Okay, so LinkedIn is a powerful social media tool, obviously. There is a massive network of connections globally all around the world with LinkedIn. And when I mean globally, I'm talking about not necessarily, obviously, just in the United Kingdom. I'm talking about in the US, in Canada, in Singapore, in Malaysia. So if you're looking for opportunities abroad or you're looking for more of a wider spectrum and you really, really want to sort of make your name known globally, LinkedIn is a great place to do that. One thing that I'm going to share with you, and most people already know this, but I'm going to share it anyway because this is sort of my techie, geeky side coming out, is LinkedIn merged with Microsoft last year. And when they did that, the interface as a whole, so, basically the platform and the usability, is the techie part of me coming out here, improved vastly. And because of that, their app has improved, so they have a LinkedIn app. The usability of the function in terms of the website has used, and what you can actually do as well, just to give a little bit of extra tip here, is if you don't like using the website, you can actually, with Microsoft Word, you can download the app on your computer and you can use the app on your computer, because most people say that the app is actually better than the website. So I haven't done that myself because I'm a bit lazy, I'll be honest with you. And I have Windows 10 on my computer. But if you wanted to do that and you're very techie, you can do that. So why should you be using LinkedIn for your career and for your job hunt? So firstly, as I said, you've got that massive network. And that massive network is really, really important for you. I'm referring to my notes so I don't lose track, by the way. So don't think I'm not looking at you, just so that I keep in flow with the structure of today. So what's really, really important is that you are able to connect with recruiters, connect with employers, and recruit, and also connect with potential people who are going to headhunt you and be able to contact you. And that's why you should be using it, right? If you're not using it already. Another reason why you should be using it as well is it's a professional network with sociability, is how I put it. And what I mean by that is that unlike Facebook, where you're connected to your friends, you're connected to your family, you're connected to your family friends, you're going to be connecting with people that maybe you might meet professionally, and you're going to be able to have conversations with them that otherwise you wouldn't be able to have. And I'll talk a little bit more about that during this training. But there is a wide array of topics that are spoken about on LinkedIn, from everyday life to work to professional topics. So you can have that networking element, but you can do it online. So it's like going to a networking event, but you're going to a networking event online. And that is the beauty of LinkedIn, okay? And that's why you should be using it, because you're able to do that online, and you're able to do that. Suppose, you're really unhappy at work at the moment and you're looking for new opportunities and you're looking to advance your career. When you're on the train in the morning, if you have about 5 or 10 minutes before you go underground and you don't have an internet, you can do that networking on your phone, from the power of your phone, right? And I am going to be raving a lot about LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook at the moment, but I'm going to be raving about it because for me, I really love the feeling of when you go on LinkedIn, and it probably is my favorite platform, social media platform. And some of the reasons for that and why you should be using it as well, kind of linking into that, is that you have the power to learn so much when you're on LinkedIn. If you are looking to stimulate, motivate, and inspire yourself. Oh, hi, Nirmala. Hi, Soma. Thanks for doing this. And Nandita is saying, I hardly use LinkedIn, but understand your point of view, and it's a very useful tool. Thank you, Nandita. Thank you so much. Okay, so just going back to what I was talking about, yeah, one of the things you can do is you can learn a lot on LinkedIn. So people have the ability, anybody has the ability, so even Nirmala and Nandita who are watching, have the ability on their profile to post an article about a subject maybe they feel passionate about or a subject professionally that they want to share. So in both of your cases, Nirmala, could post an article on yoga, and Nandita could post maybe an article in relation to languages, because she has a lot of knowledge about languages and linguistics, right? So it's a great way of just kind of showing off your skills and abilities a little bit, if you have the time. Not everybody has the time, right? And one other thing I want to say as well is that you can read these articles, but you can also post these articles. So it's a great way of getting that knowledge out there, but also learning from other people. And in linking to the learning, you can do courses on LinkedIn for free. I'm going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn Premium a little bit more and what that is. But even if you've got a free profile, you can do courses and you can sort of expand on your continuous professional development by doing these courses online. So it's a really, really great way for you to expand on that. And the other thing I want to share as well about why you should be using it is what I really like about it and what I think people should really, really understand here is that you have the ability to have a lot of intellectual debates and conversations with people. So I remember when I joined, well, I'm not going to say joined, but when I was really, really using it again back in May, there was a young man on there who was posting a lot about being a student and some of the challenges of being a graduate and how he was finding it hard to get up early in the morning. So it was about the debates of, whether you're a morning person or evening person, and then linking into that with work and routine. So what I mean by that is really having discussions which open up things that maybe we don't necessarily talk about on Facebook, and that's what I mean by that. But also maybe looking at government cuts and getting more into sort of political things, but doing it in a really nice, debatable way. And a few of the other reasons why you should be using it as well is if you are really inspired by somebody. So I am a really big fan of Arianna Huffington, who, if for most people, if they already do know, is the founder of Huffington Post, right? So I follow her and she is known as an influencer. So you can do that as well. You can follow influencers as well and you can learn from them and see the posts that they post. So Nirmal is just saying how, oh wow, that's a great tip. I would love to share my knowledge and experience of the benefits of yoga on LinkedIn. I think you should definitely do it when you have a chance. Think about the different yoga articles that you think might be beneficial. Like you spoke to me about back problems and yoga and how that's beneficial, and that is going to benefit so many people who have back problems. So think about the things that you think are really going to help people, Nirmana, because no, definitely, right? So I've mentioned about following influencers. Think about people that you look up to and that you might want to follow. The other way that you can follow people as well is suppose in your professional circle you know someone who's quite well known, who's a celebrity in your field, but you don't personally know them, you're not on a first name basis with them. Instead of maybe sending them a connection request because you haven't built up that rapport with them, you haven't built up that connection with them, think about maybe following them and getting to know them a little bit and commenting on their posts, because that can give you a bit of visibility, but you're not being super duper, you're not just like going in there and just connecting with them, because you want to make sure that you build proper connections and are authentic on LinkedIn. And I'll speak a little bit more about that in a bit, but I just wanted to mention that. And LinkedIn as a platform, the other reasons you should be using it, it's great for people who are going through career change. It's great for people who are job hunting. It's great for people who want to up level, be promoted, and continue to develop their continuous professional development. And it's an amazing tool. And the main thing is that it can enhance your job hunt, but it can enhance your career. And I'll talk about that more with LinkedIn Premium in a bit. But it's even great for business. I mean, since I've been on there, I've been able to do a few little different things and connect with some really, really amazing business owners and even get clients. So it's even great for businesses as well. So if you are watching this and you're a business owner, then consider using it if you think your ideal client is on there, of course. And I've mentioned before that the network is different to Facebook. You're not going to necessarily meet people who are on Facebook, and you're not necessarily going to be interacting with them in the same way. It's going to be a little bit different. And the main thing is that if you're using LinkedIn in the correct manner, and you're being professional and you're not being critical or judgmental towards other people, and you're keeping it professional, then you are going to see benefits of using it, which is what I'm going to talk about now. But before I talk about that, I'm just going to have a sip of water really, really quickly, and I'm going to talk about the advantages of using LinkedIn. Okay, but I hope that makes sense for everyone who's watching at the moment. Okay, great. So, the advantages of using LinkedIn. What are the advantages? And I get asked this question a lot by my clients and also by women in my community and elsewhere. So, I've spoken about why you should be using it. Now I'm going to talk about the advantages of using it. So, I mentioned LinkedIn Premium, right? So, LinkedIn Premium, when I was on LinkedIn Premium a few years ago, I'm going to admit this. Maybe it's because it hadn't merged with Microsoft, but it wasn't really anything special, I'll be honest with you. It has now vastly improved. There are different types of premium accounts you can have. Oh, yes, makes a lot of sense. Great. Premium accounts you can have. You can have a career-based one, which is ideal for somebody who is looking to get that sort of extra thing from their career, is job hunting, and needs that extra little zing. They have a special business account, and they have a special, I think, for employers account. I can't remember what the other one is, so I can only apologise. But the main two that I, know a little bit more about is the business one and the career one. And so, what are the advantages of, having a LinkedIn account if you've got career profile? Well, the advantages are you get, you can apply to jobs on your pre-profile. Of course you can, but you get training courses linked to your profession, and you also get to enhance yourself. And also, if you do have a premium account, and many people don't know this, when people go on LinkedIn and they look at your profile, there has a little like PR thing next to it, like it says premium kind of. It's in gold. So people will see that when they go on your profile and they'll think, okay, this person is really serious about getting a job, or this person is really serious about up leveling. And that would impress employers and recruiters. So, it's worth thinking about. It's not cheap, I'm not going to lie. If you're currently not working at the moment, it is $24.99 a month. If you're currently working and you're looking to change, then that's up to you if you want to spend that extra money. But it has vastly improved, and it's really good. So it's worth thinking about. Okay. The other thing I'm going to say as well, and I've already mentioned this already, it's sort of why you should be using LinkedIn. I've already put it in there, but it's also an advantage, is you should be reading relevant articles in relation to your professional field or the field that you want to go into, for those of you who are considering career change or completely transitioning. Because again, you're going to be able to learn so much from LinkedIn as a tool if you use it in the right way. So just as on Facebook, we have Facebook friends, right? On LinkedIn, we have what is known as connections, right? So connections is your network. And I'm not going to go into the first, the second, the third tier stuff, because those are the things that I will be covering more in the 5-day course that I'm going to be running later on in November. But what I will say is that if you are really serious about finding a job, or if you know that you need to reconnect with some of your colleagues, then send them a message. I have to say that LinkedIn Messenger has improved quite a lot since I first began using it in 2010. And on the app itself, it's really, really good how the interface works. So you can send messages a lot easier, and you can even see, just as you can see on Facebook, whether they've read it or not. So it's very, very easy to use, and it's a definite advantage of interacting with old colleagues and recruiters and people that you know are going to be able to help you on your job hunt. So what are some of the other advantages? I've spoken about a lot already, but some of the other advantages are joining LinkedIn groups. So one thing I'm just going to say quickly about the LinkedIn groups is make sure that the groups you join are relevant to what and where you want to go, firstly. Secondly, if you spam in groups, or if you are, excessively behaving not in a great way, or certain things are going on, LinkedIn can ban you. They have the power to do that even before the admin does. So please be mindful of that. I know that none of the people I know will do that, but I'm just pre-warning that. I remember learning about this from a podcast that I was listening to, and I wasn't aware of that, so I thought I would just put that in there. And by you joining relevant groups, especially if you're job hunting, you're going to be able to have access to a lot of new contacts and a lot of new people that maybe, you wouldn't have met anyone anywhere else. So, that is a major, major advantage, okay? So there is like a few more advantages to using LinkedIn. I know I've already mentioned some already, but this is a really key one, especially if you want to get the most out of your LinkedIn experience. And that is finding people who can potentially help you and asking for their support. So I'm going to give a few quick examples of this, right? Some of the examples I'm going to give are basically there was a woman who had just recently been made redundant, and she was struggling, and she needed to find another job. So she just put a post out there saying exactly the type of job she was looking for, what location, and if anybody could help her, right? And depending on where your comfort levels is, this might seem a lot for you. So I'm not saying that you've got to do this and you must do this, and you need to make sure that you've grown and established a network before you do this as well, by the way. But asking for support on LinkedIn, I have seen so many people ask for support. I've asked for support about lots of different things, and there has been a lot of love and a lot of support that has come my way. So, as a network, if you're connected to the right people and you are interacting with people in a nice way, you're going to get that energy back. So, make sure that if you're not already and you are on LinkedIn, that you're using like just like how you have a status update on Facebook, you have a similar thing on LinkedIn where you can do that as well, and it will come up on your homepage. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the homepage in how I use it and why I use it in a minute, but I thought I would just quickly mention that. So those are some of the main advantages as to, main advantages of LinkedIn. So now I'm going to be talking about, why I use it as a platform and why I think it's so amazing, basically. And I've already spoken about that at the beginning already, but this is me giving a little bit of background to you about how I began on LinkedIn and what happened. So I joined LinkedIn in 2009, I think, quite a while ago when I was a career supervisor in schools. And I joined it because everyone else was joining it at the time. Like, all I kept on hearing is, oh, like you have Facebook, there's LinkedIn, and it's like a professional Facebook, so just join it. So, at that time, I just joined it, and I didn't do much with my profile, and it was there. And it's only more recently, since May, actually, this year, I've always been on it, and I've been headhunted on there a couple of times as well, because I've always had a all-star profile, and what that means is a complete profile. But I'm not going to talk too much about that in today's training, because I want to focus on the major elements of today's training. But in May this year, what I decided to really, really do is I decided to, make sure that I was a lot more present on LinkedIn, because I was hardly on there. I might have been on there like a couple of times a month, which is terrible, but now I'm on there practically, if not every day, at least a few times a week. And that was after listening to a really useful podcast about tips on what to do with LinkedIn and how to, get the most out of your LinkedIn, especially if you, well, not especially, it doesn't matter if you're a business owner or job hunter, just using it to its best use. And I had about just a little bit over 500 connections when I initially was sort of posting and being really, really present on there. Now I have over 800. And on LinkedIn as well, you have followers as well. I have about nearly 900 followers on LinkedIn now as well. And the way that I've done that, and the way that you can do that as well, because it's not just about numbers necessarily. For you want to make sure that you're present on there so that you can build those connections. Because people who have less followers and less, connections with me are building those relationships as well. And the way to build those relationships and those connections is by interacting. So what I'm going to say here is, if you have at least 10 to 15 minutes every day, either in the morning or the evening, take some time to have a look at your homepage, see what people are posting, and if those topics are resonating with you, leave a comment. And when I say just 10 to 15 minutes, don't spend longer, because you're not going to have time to then more than 10 minutes to be present on there. So it's important that you really, really make heed of that time, but only post on things that are relevant to you and you can add value to. And this is what I mean by adding value, but adding value in a way where you can add value, and asking for help, which goes back to the thing I was talking about before. And in some cases, I sometimes did ask for help. I think I asked if people knew, not, I can't remember right now, but I did ask a couple of times for help and support with lots of different things. And I always got it. And I see that other people are always, sort of, oh, I think that was it. It was about meditation and mindfulness. I was asking for a little help around that. And I got a lot of responses from that. And I was also asking one day about workplace bullying, and I also got a lot of responses from that. So don't be afraid to share elements of your personality and to stand out a little bit. And that's why I've been using it. I've been able to build those unique, genuine relationships with people who I wouldn't have otherwise have met in any other way. And what's really, really amazing about LinkedIn, please ignore the scratching, it's my cat trying to get in the room, is it's a unique tool to use to showcase your professionality, because you've got your profile picture on there, you've got your little tagline, you have a little background summary, you have your skills and experience. It is kind of like an online CV, but what makes it different is you get to interact through that. And that's pretty amazing that you can do that globally. And this is especially useful for people who may not have too many commitments and want to maybe work abroad, or even if you have commitments and you and your family just want to move and sort of like go to another country. You'll have that access to those global opportunities if you're looking for them, and if you use LinkedIn in the right way, because you're going to be sort of networking with people globally as well. And that can be really, really useful to people who want to get that expansion, who want to get that growth, and who want to work abroad. So it's really up to you to think about who you're connecting with, how you're connecting with them, and what best value you can get from that. And yeah, I've already mentioned that you should try and aim to use it at least once a day for 10 to 15 minutes. If you can't do once a day, that might seem like too much, then try at the beginning to use it a few times a week for 10 to 15 minutes, so 3 or 4 days. Just try that and see sort of what feels right for you. But that's what I do. I haven't been as active as I normally am this week, and that's because I've been launching a course and been doing other things, but I do aim to post something every day in the morning. And yeah, those are